It's one of those injuries, like you said, it's really rare. So both not knowing what it is and dealing with all the pain, what would you say you did to help mentally get through something like that? Because yeah, you're talking 4 years of dealing with pain and not knowing what to do or why it's happening. And then I'm just curious what maybe strategies you used or um, what was the end goal? What made you be so resilient and be so strong? And yeah, just want to pick your mind on the mental aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I think early on when I was starting to miss out on some sporting, like some games and practices, and see all of my friends be able to participate, I think the hardest part there is why me? Like why is this happening now? Why during my favorite like sports? Why does it have to be such a complex injury? Which obviously didn't know that so early on, but we still weren't getting answers. So wrestling with that constantly, and honestly, my faith. If I didn't have that, I don't know how people get through something like this, health related, or honestly just unanswered things in life. I just always told myself it's happening for a reason. You'll see the other side. You'll know why. Um, whenever the time is to come. I think I held on to that. There were obviously lots of tears, lots of anger. I think anger was my hardest thing just because it's not fair. Um, but it really changed my outlook on a lot of things. It turned into such a daily pain that I was grateful to walk like without pain, especially after the surgeries. I had this new mindset of being thankful for being able to stand and walk and not being in pain. Like sports didn't matter anymore because this was so much more than sports. Um, I also think my injury blessed me in a way of I didn't ever really feel drawn to collegiate sports, and obviously following into three brothers who played collegiate sports, I think it was like almost necessary that I had to do it. I didn't think there was another option. So I kind of forced myself into this mindset of, okay, be ready to play a sport in college. Don't know what that is. But then this all happened, and I knew that was out of the picture. And I think it made the transition out of sports easier for me. Like I knew when my last game was, I knew when my last practice was, and I was okay with that because I knew it was coming and I was able to prepare. But I can see how athletes who have abrupt injuries and don't know it's their last, like I can't imagine what that's like because I honestly had the timeline in mind, if that makes sense. Like I knew when the end was. So I was at peace with that. But I think I just held on to the most that there's a purpose in this and you don't know what it is. And I think there's more to life that goes by that too. It's not just injury related. Having to learn that so young is hard. Like as a junior, and yeah, that's hard. But you have to surround yourself with people that can build you up and people that I think with you guys too, didn't question any of it. You didn't um make any of it harder. You were just there, and I just knew you were there. Like if I needed to rant about it, I'm sure. I mean, I know you guys would listen. I mom put up with so much of my complaining, bless her soul, because I just had to get it out because I was keeping it inside. But um, I think it's okay to be angry because, I mean, we're human. That's part of who we are. But um, also knowing that it's gonna be okay and that the anger's temporary, the pain's temporary, all of it's temporary. And there's something so much better coming for you. That's what I held on to for sure.
Yeah, I think the word lament is a powerful
Mm.
thing. Like, God knows what you're feeling, and so you don't have to hide that from Him. So, being able to, through that process, just being able to be honest with Him, but then
Mhm.
also having someone like mom for that. Honestly, I personally didn't hear you complain a ton through it. Like
Stop
you handled
talking.
it. You handled it better than I would have. I can say that for sure, like no doubts. But yeah, like you weren't the type to go around complaining to everyone, poor me, like look at me, like you have your faith, you have mom to go to, you have us around when you need it. But yeah, I feel like that. I mean, taught you, like you said, at a young age, how to handle adversity and the not knowing. Like, I mean, with injuries, I mean, Brand's had his fair share, but most of them he knew kind of what the timeline, what he needed to do to get back. But for you, it was years and years of not knowing, and so, I mean, I can't relate to that, but just seeing you through that and come out out the other side like you have, like, just super cool perspective.